Hey, Rosebud.
How are you?
Back at it, ready to go and dive into another wonderful episode of Do We Have To, a marriage podcast. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Emily.
And welcome to the Do We Have To crew. We have a wonderful show with you today. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the 4 habits of a successful marriage in relation to a TED Talk that was happened sometime back by Dr. Andrea and Jonathan. I don't want to butcher their last name.
Taylor-Cummings.
Taylor-Cummings, yes. Actually received well over 3 million views. I think it's got fantastic information for it and something you and I can utilize to strive to have a stronger and better relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we also are going to continue to get deep with each other with our Let's Get Deep. We're going to talk a little 90s nostalgia today. And then we're also going to give our wonderful Do We Have To crew a quick update on our strategic summer plans that are still in progress, that have slightly been dwindling a little bit, but we're still staying in there. We're trying to stay in there strong. We sure are. We're wearing out already, and we're only like a week or two in, but we're hanging in there. So
full weekend.
To all the parents out there or non-parents, anybody who's just getting the summer, starting to get that summer lag going in your life, we feel you. Do We Have To crew?
Yep.
Yeah. First things first, though, do you realize what happened on June 2nd?
I became aware of it this morning.
Who did that? Was that Aunt Katie?
It was Aunt Katie, and then it was also several people on socials. And
everybody, like a bunch of people?
Apparently this was like the top story of the morning when everyone woke up, and I personally was not ready for such information.
Yeah. So if you're not aware of it, and you may have seen it on social media, our wonderful Aunt Katie actually is the one who dropped that bombshell on us on our group chat today. But as of June 2nd, which today we're recording, it's evening
past,
June 4th. Yeah. But we found out on June 2nd, at the end of that day, we are now closer to 2050 than we are to 2000.
Yeah.
And that's a super mind fuck.
I feel kind of personally attacked, to be 1,000%.
I just feel like when we were kids growing up.
What the fuck?
And we would think about like the 70s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Now there's kids that think like we did, except we're those old
We're
fucks.
the old ones, yeah.
It's
the
insane.
fact that 90s is legit on the oldies station, not okay with that. Not at all.
I know. And what I was thinking about was I was playing Fortnite with Seamus, and California Love is like one of my emotes, the song and the dance. And that's like 30 years old now.
Oh, that kind of.
I know.
That's like a punch in the stomach.
I know. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. It's so fucked. Anyway, but yeah, we're all, a lot of our Do We Have To crew are around our age demographically. You grew up in the 90s. I happen to personally love the 90s because kind of got the best of both worlds, right? We got kind of those advancements in technology that were happening.
I feel like we got all of it. Like I feel like the people that grew up in the 90s
and early 2000s, like we
got all the best.
Yeah, we did.
Stuff because we grew with it. Does that make sense?
Well, we grew with it, but also like it didn't have the interconnection that it does. So like you're able to get away from it, but also when you wanted to, you enjoyed it. And now it's like you're in it, whether you're working, you're a parent, you're a kid, like there's no escape from it. It's just constant. It's 24/7. Some of that's self-inflicted, but a lot of that is just the way the world is and how it's interconnected, and everything is reliant upon the internet. It just wasn't that way. It was cool because you could get all the fun things out of it, but then you could fucking leave it alone. You know what I mean? That was the best part about it. But I did, just thinking about that and the fact that we are getting old and soon we'll be dead. Looking back on things that we enjoyed from a nostalgic perspective, I think is important. And I know we have a lot of 90s love here. So I actually grabbed a couple. I figured we could do a quick 90s nostalgia moment.
Okay.
Now, I didn't find anything super positive that happened. So today's June 4th. I didn't find anything that was super happy that happened on June 4th during the 90s that was of significance. However, there was a really important event that took place.
I feel like the happy stuff is...
Well, it has been cool if I could have found something
kept in public. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not documented.
True, necessarily. Because, that year, in the 90s, certain things happened. It just, unfortunately, June 4th wasn't a day where anything super awesome of note occurred, that like a product that we remember when we were kids or when we were younger wasn't established. There wasn't a specific movie that was launched on the 4th that was like super notable. But the one thing was that it was the first in, what year was it? It was 1990 on June 4th was the first anniversary and remembrance of the Tiananmen Square massacre, which I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer here, guys, but that wasn't a super important event in history. Also, it was a part of a banger song by System of a Down. So, but if anybody's familiar with that, that's it occurred in 1989. Politically, China was starting to advance economically and socially, and you had a lot of college students. It's kind of funny because history repeats itself, right?
Really
so you have China that's trying to crack down on what they feel is liberalism in China, just another fancy word for woke. With saying liberty, it just sounds so similar to the shit that we're arguing about today. Yeah. And eventually, China decided to crack down on that from a political perspective, and the students were protesting out there in Tiananmen Square. They just ended up fucking killing them. So, people died out there in there. And so this was the first time there was a remembrance for that. And obviously it's a well-known piece of history now. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer on that, but that is something big. And I do remember that. You remember the picture of the guy standing out there in front of the tank or the video, right? Yeah. That's a big piece of history. Now, something more positive though, I did look up. One fun thing I wanted to look up was what were the top grossing movies on the day of June 4th in the 90s? And thankfully, ChatGPT came through for me. So let's run through that really quick. You tell me if you've seen any of these, huh? Okay. So for 1990, the number one movie at the time in the United States was Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Did not see it.
You've not seen Total Recall?
No.
Oh, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, I've not seen it ever.
Would you watch it with me?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even think I've
don't
heard
worry,
of
we
it.
own it. You haven't heard of Total Recall?
No.
Essentially, the premise of it is this guy who feels like he has this mundane life. He wants something more, and he wants to go to like Mars. He's married to Sharon Stone in the movie. Well, she's not Sharon Stone. Married to her, and he goes, and there's this place called Total Recall, which like can create a fantasy in your mind that you live through. And his was that he was going to be a secret undercover spy.
That doesn't sound interesting.
Okay. It hurts. But we'll watch it though, right?
Fine.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. 1991. Another Arnold Schwarzenegger banger. God, Arnold's the best. Shout out, Arnold. We love you. Well, Emily, she's tough on your movies. I think everything you do is fantastic.
I've never seen it.
I even love Last Action Hero. I had the soundtrack, so I know that wasn't a box office hit for you, but I fucking loved it. Kindergarten Cop.
No.
It's not a tumor. You don't remember that?
I never saw it.
You never seen Kindergarten?
No.
I thought Seamus and I were talking about that the other day, and you were totally shitting on that.
No,
so you're just shitting on it because you saw a preview of it.
You guys were talking about the Christmas one, the Jingle
All the Way. Another banger.
Stand
Him and Sinbad killed it.
No, can't stand it.
Put the cookie down. No, nothing.
No, nope.
Oh, it's so good. Phil Hartman was great in that movie too. Rest in power, Phil. The Saturday Night Live cast member. His wife killed him and killed herself. Really, really talented.
I can't remember who he is.
Okay. It's devastating again.
I'm so sorry.
1992, Basic Instinct. Sharon Stone, Michael Douglas?
No, never seen it.
This is really difficult for me being such a movie person. I know we can't watch every movie in the world, but I'm going through and I'm literally talking to you about the most popular movies.
Keep going though, because maybe.
1993.
No.
Sylvester's getting it. You didn't even let me go.
I'm sorry.
You're just answering no right away. 1993, Sylvester Stallone, Cliffhanger.
No, never even heard of it.
What's so funny though is all of these movies we own.
How?
On our Apple TV, our digital database.
Oh.
Because your husband, for a long time, when I wasn't being financially responsible, would buy movies all the time.
But
when they were on sale for $4.99, because Apple always has a sale.
I may not have watched the Cliffhanger movie, nor have I ever heard of it in 93. But in 1994, I am fairly certain I went and saw the Flintstones somewhere, whether we rented it from Blockbuster or whatever, but I'm pretty sure I've seen the Flintstones movie.
The Flintstones? Oh, yeah. With John Goodman?
Yeah.
And Rosie O'Donnell.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what was it? Rick Moranis plays Barney.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That one
That's a good movie. Yeah. That was number one in 1994. Thank you, Emily. How about 1995?
No. I have not seen Batman Forever.
Batman Forever. Yes. Val Kilmer?
No.
Tommy Lee Jones.
I've never
Jim
seen... no. I've never seen the Batmans where it's been Val Kilmer.
So you saw Michael Keaton's first and second one, and then you didn't see any after?
The first Batman movie I ever watched was with you.
The Christian Bale Batman movies?
Yeah.
That's not the... God. They're good. It's Christopher Nolan. I mean, they're probably the best. I love Tim Burton, but as far as like big time... I mean, Tim is a big time director, and the original Batmans with Michael Keaton are fantastic. Christopher Nolan, that was a whole different type of Batman. Either way, though, it was Val Kilmer was Bruce Wayne. Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
No?
Ah, it was solid. I mean, I think people hate on it quite a bit, but I enjoyed it. And obviously, what couldn't have been that fucking bad because people were going to see it in 1995. And they also had an awesome Happy Meal associated with it, where you could get glasses that like had the question mark for the Riddler.
Oh, no.
No. Okay. Let's see. 1996, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise.
I didn't see it as a child or like in the 90s, but I definitely have seen Mission Impossible.
The original?
Yeah, the first one. But I saw it as like an adult.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend all those movies. We got them.
I like all the...
And I'm excited to see the new one. The new one's out now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 1997, Lost World, Jurassic Park.
I've never seen any of them.
You know, that's Julianne Moore is the love interest in that to... what the fuck is his name? I like him a lot. He was in the Thor movie. He's been in a ton of stuff. What is his name? He was in Independence Day. He was in, but I can't explain to you.
Naming movies.
In Thor Ragnarok, he's the guy that he was in charge of that like world that they went to where all the junk goes into the world. That's going to drive me absolutely insane that I can't remember his name.
Well, we'll move on and maybe it'll come to you.
Maybe. 1998, Godzilla, Matthew Broderick. Had that another banger soundtrack. They had, and now I in no way condone anything that P. Diddy has done, but there was a Jimmy Page rendition of Come With Me, I can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, Jimmy Page played guitar like the original song, and then Puff Daddy did the song, and it was a banger.
Did you hear that he might get a mistrial?
I don't know. I mean, it still sounds like he's a terrible person. But back then, soundtrack, amazing song.
Yeah.
Can't take that away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 1999, wrapping up the 90s, the number one movie on June 4th was Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. You have seen that because me and Seamus made you sit down and watch it. It's the one with Jar Jar Binks. That
annoying little thing that's like an alien version of Goofy.
Yeah. That's actually a really well said way to put it that.
Yeah, I don't like that character.
You didn't like the movie?
No.
I know. It's too bad you're going to have to watch all of them, though, with us. So anyway, that's our little trip down memory lane in the 90s, guys. So you're welcome for that. We'll bring that back every once in a while. I do like actually just researching 90s shit. Yeah. Hopefully we'll find something less depressing as far as a historical event, and maybe we'll find some fun things product-wise and food-wise, anything. Honestly, I didn't do as much research ahead of time as I should. It's been a busy week, so I'm sorry about that.
Did you see that they... brought back, we don't eat Pop-Tarts in the house. Like, we don't buy Pop-Tarts. But they brought back, like, the blue raspberry flavor of Pop-Tarts. Like, they're bringing back, like, the old, like, super processed, highly colored. Yeah. It had the blue stuff in the middle.
Cool. I mean, they still have stuff that has colors in it and stuff.
Yeah, I know. They have, like, the wild berry one or whatever.
Wild berry. They have, like,
I'm pretty sure... I saw on the news the other day that they were bringing back the blue raspberry kind. Nice. Yeah.
Very nice. No, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I was kind of excited.
That's awesome.
But I can't eat them, so it doesn't matter.
And we did get deep into the 90s, and now we got to get deep with each other.
Yeah.
I'm going out of order. But I feel let's get deep, and we'll do a deeper card today. Now, did you...
I did not peek.
You pulled.
I just pulled.
Have the card.
I just pulled 4, and I'm literally looking.
4. That's very suspect. Do we have to crew? Emily has a tendency to pre-pick the card. Although last week's.
I pinched out of the box. 4 of them came.
Okay.
I'm reading the
All right,
first
let's
one.
do it. But as you guys know, so let's get deep. We play this regularly on the show. There's multiple cards, starting with icebreaker, going all the way to deeper. And it's, a good way to learn about your partner. Highly recommend this for anybody, even if you're just dating, all the way to being married. And they have a version that you can play with your friends. And this is actually shown on the wonderful show, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Gosh, I cannot wait until they come out with it.
Shout out, Taylor.
Shout out to everyone, like Jesse, Demi. What the hell?
I haven't watched all the second season yet, so I don't know. But I am
really
now a Taylor
like the
fan.
New girl that they brought on. I really
Nice.
like her. Anyways, our card says, "What's your favorite memory of us together?"
Okay. Whew.
I'll go.
Go. All right, you have that right up in your... Okay, cool. Go ahead.
We were sitting on the porch swing at your dad's house in Platte City. And
We have a picture of us doing that.
that's our very first photo together. And it's when you asked me to be your girlfriend.
I asked you to be my girlfriend. I don't remember that. Nice.
And
That's very high school of me.
it was very high school. But we were
26 or 25 then, so.
we were just hanging out on the porch swing, and we were looking at the stars, and you asked me to be your girlfriend, and I said yes. And then we took a photo, and you kissed me goodnight. And when I got in the car to go home, Just a Kiss from Lady A came on the
Lady
radio.
A. Yeah.
And that's pretty much when I knew I would marry you.
Really?
Yeah.
Awful and presumptuous that you just assumed that when you decide we're going to get married, that I would just join in on that.
It was just a very casual, date.
It was a very nice night.
We just
Yeah.
had
It was a beautiful night in Platte City too.
yeah.
I remember that.
I don't even think I think we had Taco Bell or something for dinner too. It was just,
It sounds like some typical 20-year-olds would have for dinner on a
there
date.
was absolutely nothing special about that date. It was after work. We were crazy busy, met up, hung out for a while. And then I went home and I was like, yep, I'm going to marry him.
That's awesome. I have 10 million memories. Probably some of my favorites. I guess my most memorable are when you were having our kids, but I feel like that's not necessarily a happy memory for you because you were going through a lot of pain. Our Disney trip, there were so many times I was just looking at you with the kids and when we were doing stuff and we were having fun. And I thought, this is some of the best times of my life I'm going to remember for forever. Our whole Disney trip was probably one big, most favorite memory of us. It'd have to be that Disney trip. We had such a good time. But if it was a personal, selfish memory, when I took you to see Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1. And you sat there with me and experienced the whole thing, and you took it very much in stride. And even when I screamed at the end, when she opened her eyes and it was clear that she was a vampire, even though I read the book and knew it was going to happen, I still reacted along with all the other teenage girls.
Yes, you did.
And you handled it like a champ.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite memories of ours.
I had never watched any other Twilight movie. I've never read the books. And I went to a midnight showing with you, and Will and Ashley, I think, were with us.
Did Will and Ashley go too? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And you screamed at the end of it was obvious that she was going to wake up and be
Well, and
a vampire.
I read all the books, so I knew that.
Foreshadowing.
It's the first time being able to get to see it happening.
Please. It was ridiculous. And then you screamed literally with every other girl, little kid girl in that theater.
I was excited about what was going to be happening.
My goodness.
Okay. All right. Well.
But yes, that was a
one
fun
of my
time.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I made fun of you hard for that.
Yeah.
Still do.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll keep playing Let's Get Deep every week. Highly recommend you guys check out that game. It's by a company called By Relatable.
Yeah.
They made something to meme about or something. I don't know. It's all of those things. You can find them at Target or Amazon. I mean, they're available everywhere.
Yeah. They have different versions.
And now they have different versions, like the Friends version we talked about. They even have a naughty version. So
which we aren't.
Emily loves talking about our sex life on To Film. So we'll probably buy that here shortly.
No, please don't.
Summertime break, summertime update, summertime chaos. We're all going through it, whether you have kids or not. Summertime tends to, you're trying to do more things during the year because it just seems what the societal push is, but then you still have all your responsibilities in life. And how do you think how are you feeling where we're at? We don't have to give an extended update, but I feel like it was important because we have such grandiose ideas of what we're going to do.
I think we've definitely picked our priority of things. Like, I think we put too much on our plate to start, and now we're like figuring out like, okay, well, plus the other thing is all of the practices have started for like summer sports. That's been,
I think, the biggest change that's affected
everything has officially like launched.
Yeah.
So the kids are busy early in the morning and late at night for various activities. And so it's kind of like, we got to adjust our schedule to fit around that schedule now. So I think we're doing a good job. I think we're definitely slacking on the homeworky kind of stuff that we decided to do. That's been the
biggest drop off. I mean, I've got homework today. It's just making sure they doing with us, me working and you running back and forth to activities. That has been the most difficult one. So anybody out there, if you're trying to tackle, I think sleep, we're staying consistent. Like we're still getting up fairly early in the morning.
I wish we could get up a little earlier, but that's on me.
We can keep working towards that. But I think overall, though, we're not sleeping in all day. That's great.
No.
Physical has been on point. Seamus and I are on 31 days in a row of lifting and running. Tegan's doing the multiple swim practices now every day. Maeve is doing multiple dance practices. All that is in stride.
Yeah.
So honestly, in organization, so it's been the organization and the academics, which have been, it's not that they're lower priority items, but when the chaos and the shuffle of trying to get things in the day, those seem to be the two things that falling off.
Yeah. Me and the car are becoming very, very close friends. Me and Bear out there are getting to know each other. And
Bear is the nickname for Papa Ron's car. No.
The Tahoe for our car.
You called the Tahoe that's silver Bear, and then the black Wagoneer that could be like a black bear, you called Stella. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's fine. Okay, so Bear.
Your dad didn't want it to be a boy.
Fair enough. That's fair.
And I name all of my cars boy names.
Yes.
Except my very first car was Sally because that's what my grandpa called it.
I love that. I don't think I really ever had a nickname for my car.
I have named every car I've ever had.
I think that's awesome. Probably a sign of good luck. We should probably ever get to it. I think it'd be fun. But academically, so and again, I think this is the thing, guys. You're going to have times where things fall off. And all we can do is recognize that. And honestly, I haven't really had an opportunity to talk to you, but I know we kind of in passing 2 ships in the night have been like, we didn't get to the
We literally were today. Like, I was coming home from one practice. You were leaving the other night.
Seamus' football. Yeah. Yep.
And then we didn't see each other.
So I do think, I mean, there's positive things that are coming out of it, though. I do think the kids are more structured. I think they've been happier. Feel free to agree or disagree. I think we've had less
tension.
Discipline issues.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Seamus and I had a rough Sunday that I thought I did not do a good job as a father handling him kind of quitting, doing our sprints. And I know it was hot. And I could have talked that through with him. I did a shitty job, but he called you. And I think you handled diffusing both of us and getting us back to a spot. I went and anger ran for 4 miles, and then we all went to the pool, and everybody was good. And so really it's been one fuck up on my part on the physical.
Well, you handled Tegan's little break the other day with swim after her second practice. She's wanting to quit.
She handles me the way Seamus takes me sometimes poorly. She handles that better.
Yeah.
And it's being it's not a good thing, guys. It's being an authoritarian parent. I do fire off, unfortunately, sometimes. And, a big thing that we're really focusing on, or the big theme is like, being successful isn't winning championships or making $1 million. It's just not quitting.
Right.
So if you don't quit, you know, a winner is somebody who quit or didn't quit after failure. You know what I mean? Versus a loser. A loser is just somebody who eventually stopped when they didn't get what they wanted. Right.
Yeah.
And that's our big thing. And so when that starts happening, or I see that they're doing that, I do get pretty fired up. And Emily had to come in and rescue, and she did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome, babe. But yeah, overall, it's been good, guys. It's just one of those things. You just got to try to identify proactively, or at least not too reactively, where you're falling short on things. I know that seems pretty obvious, but it's hard. It isn't that obvious, and it's not that fucking hard. It's hard when you're running back and forth. You kind of don't think about it till the end of the day. And then it's just so easy to let 3 or 4 days go by. Yeah. And we recognize today, hey, 2 days have gone by. We didn't do any homework. We have it printed. We have it ready to go. The other day. Yeah.
And it was
so now we got to fix that.
Crap.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, everything has just officially started. So like the routine had to change because of practice schedules, which honestly is for the better, I think, because the more involved they're in their activities that they like and they enjoy, it also helps when we throw chores on them and stuff like that. And so like, I've successfully gotten the olders to at least unload the dishwasher. I'm too OCD to let them load it. There is a place for everything.
Yep.
Like they'll figure it out. But like they're the ones doing the laundry switches now. I'm just folding and hanging, and they're putting away. So like, I mean, slowly but surely we're making a lot of progress. And instead of like top loading them like a Sunday with, this is what you've got, like you'll do this, and this, like here's your chore list for the week. Like instead of doing all of that and just asking them at the time that something needs to be done and making sure that I keep it in my head, Seamus did dishes the other day, Tegan's turn today, like so forth. Like
just being mindful
that I'm not overloading the same kid all the time to help me around the house is where I think I'm growing better, because I'm understanding more of the fact that our children have a problem with multi-step instructions.
But it is something that we've been told by their teachers that we have to work on. So, but instead of like throwing 50 things on them and just you got to figure it out, you know, try to do a couple things at a time. But they're starting to get to the point now where like Seamus knows what he needs to do for a big part of the day, the physical, the academic, you know, and then his room, like it's starting to now they're just doing it. You know what I mean? So that's good. I mean, there's just a lot of positives here, guys. So anybody that is interested in embarking on kind of like cleaning up some things behaviorally with your family and, you know, trying to help make things better, it's doable. We're seeing it. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And it's got to be one of those things that it's just a continuation of work. And it's something you can take in then to the school year when then you have another set of hours and days that go by.
Schedule's not going to change. Like they're going to be in these activities year round.
Yeah. And hopefully that just allows them to continue to be productive, and they're really not having adjustment periods, which we all experienced those when we were kids going to school. So maybe not everybody, because maybe there's parents that did this type of thing, but you know, that's not what I slept in when I was in summer. And I remember that was an adjustment. Getting back into sports, getting back into school schedule, it was a fucking adjustment. And I'm sure, you know, it's just the more you can have successful days, the more likely you're going to be a successful person. I will say, having a theme to things, the kids seem to enjoy it. You know, like physical, for example, Seamus and I, we have these hats here. You can get these on Amazon. We're getting shirts made up too. I don't know if anybody is familiar in the Do We Have to crew with Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was a middleweight champ of the world. At one time in the 80s was probably the pound for pound best fighter in the world. And he would wear these during his training camps. And the whole thought process was war, but not in the way you think it would be. It's war with yourself, right? So the preparation of it's you against you, feed, and he would just say war, feed the faith, starve the doubt. And so Seamus and I will be on our runs. We say that over and over again. It's just a theme. And I really like that.
Yeah.
You know where I got that from? Like creating a theme? Fucking The Last Dance, Phil Jackson.
Oh.
Because that's where, I mean, The Last Dance is, he would have a theme for every season. He's just a guy who psychologically understood how to get the most out of even the highest level athletes.
Yeah.
And that was his theme for that last season when they were going to all break apart. This is the last dance. You know, that's what our theme is for the year. I fucking love that. Highly recommend. I think it just gets you more, it just brings more ownership into what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So we'll keep you guys updated. Do We Have To crew in regards to where we're at. We'll continue to let you know where we're failing. So hopefully you can avoid those pitfalls, and we'll let you know we're succeeding so you know what to follow up on and work on, or just continue to kind of push forward. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue to update you. Summer chaos, kids, we've talked a ton about parenting.
Yeah.
I think it is time we jump back into talking about marriage and our relationship, because I feel like that's kind of waned, and not just from the show, but like, I don't feel like we've put a ton of importance on us for a little while now. And I think that's such a normal thing for most couples. We tend to put ourselves as a back burner, but when we do that and we don't make ourselves
that's
a priority,
where marriages tend to fail.
Yeah, and it affects the entire family. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. It's not good for anything or anyone. If we're not taking care of ourselves and then our relationship first, it's going to fuck with the rest.
Right.
And I don't think we've been doing a good job of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd agree or disagree with that.
I agree, because there's so much that we are putting in front of quality time with each other.
It's not even just quality time. It's just getting on the same level, getting on the same page too, and being respectful of each other, and checking in, seeing how we're doing. I guess that's quality time. Sorry, you're right. What the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, so we did do some research. Also, we had a couple great ideas, and not saying Colin did anything bad, but he might have told us like, I don't like that. So you need to get back focusing on your marriage. Like, what's going on with your marriage, guys? Like, can we get back to that? Because it seemed like things were waning on your end. He didn't say all that. He kind of with his eyes, but we love Colin, and Colin's done nothing but help us. And as you know, in my apology that I stated on YouTube last week, a lot of the things that I say about Colin are fabrications, and in no way did he at any time put pressure on me to say all of those things in the apology that I said. So with that being said, we decided we wanted to focus on how can we be a better couple, and how you be a better couple is you mirror what other successful couples are doing. Yeah. There was a really cool TED Talk that took place back in 2019. It got over 3 million views.
It's a quick one too.
It's only 15 minutes of your time. We highly recommend it. I'll put it out on our website for the episode description when it's released. So feel free to go to dowehavto.com. And of course you can watch our show at youtube.com/dowehavto, a marriage podcast. But they actually have their own institute, this couple. And so they're both doctors. It's called the 4 Habits Institute. Their goal, they started this out in 2016, and at the time in 2016, so we're almost 10 years into that. So they have almost 30 years experience doing this. At the time, it was 20 when they created this. The whole goal with this, it's called Soulmates Academy, is what they created in 2016, is helping people and organizations improve emotional and mental well-being, performance, and productivity through proactively equipping people with strong relationship skills to have better conversations and better outcomes. So not only is this something that can help your marriage, but this is just something in general about relationship building and communicating and being the best human being you can be overall.
Yeah, because when you work on yourself in that aspect, then you're going to automatically be a better partner.
Yeah. Yep.
In any relationship.
Yeah. And they have a really cool journey. 2017, they launched the Relationship Essentials, which is an e-learning program that they have. Their goal was to help the first 100,000 couples start enjoying great relationships. Their big thing is that they looked at the data, similar to what we do, even though we're not experts by any means. No. Unless we help you, then legally we've helped you. And you probably owe us some sort of compensation for that. Do not. We'll talk about it. You can DM us.
Please don't.
They looked at the numbers. And here the numbers are what they are. 60 to 70% of long-term non-married relationships end.
Yep.
40 to 50, almost close to 50%, but 40 some odd percent of marriages end in divorce. Mm-hmm. So, on average, you've got well over half of relationships that are supposed to be a long-term or forever are ending. And they looked at what are the difference. All these couples that they've worked with, and the ones that were successful versus the ones that were negative or ended, what did they have in common? What did the successful ones have in common? And they created this list of 4 successful habits.
Yeah. I also find it very interesting that they stated that the breakdown of family unit was the single biggest contribute to teenage mental health.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And they did this TED Talk in 2019, and they did it in London. And so there's a really cool thing. So their thing specifically was how much it costs England when family structure isn't going well because relationships are failing, and it was millions of euros, where because it affected the kids' mental health, it affected the people that were in relationships, mental and physical health. Yeah. So the ability to proactively mitigate that and then create good and positive outcomes based on just knowing following these techniques in association with the relationship, they really are pretty straightforward. But I do think they're things that I have a hard time practicing on a regular basis. And I guarantee you, if somebody's listening to this too, and if they're going through a tough time in their marriage, likely when they were going through that tough time, these are things that weren't being exhibited. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Because I struggle with a lot of these. I'm actually thinking when we did the research and I read everything that you had sent over, I was pretty hard on myself because I don't feel like I've succeeded in any of these categories.
Oh, I don't think that's true. But I think the thing is like, are we doing it more days? Are we doing these things or less? Right. And that's going to be the difference between us being successful overall. Or there's people that stay in relationships. And I think that's a very admirable thing. But a lot of times that'll come out, people have a few beers and they're like, well, they don't ever tell me anything or talk about anything, blah, 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 blah. You'll hear that. So even if you stay together, despite you not doing these attributes, you're not going to be happy.
Well, when he said in the video,
they do have an example couple
that if it weren't for these kids, I would have left you a long time ago.
They do mention in the TED Talk,
holy shit.
We've had that conversation.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, we've had that conversation. I have said that.
Yeah.
And not even I've said that like, if we didn't have kids, I wouldn't be with you. That's not what I said. But I have said that I'm always going to take care of you, no matter what. So like, to me, we're always going to be married, but like, I don't know if I can be married to you after we're done getting the kids to be adults and have them out there, because I'm not happy being in a relationship. I'm happy being married. Like I'm committed 100% being married to you for the rest of my life and taking care of you for the rest of your life. But us being in a relationship, I don't know if that's what I'm going to see as happiness in the future. And I know that was a hard conversation for us both to have. And I'm sure you've had times where you felt the same way. But I know as of recent, while back, and you guys can go to our older episodes when we talk about almost getting divorced and those sorts of things. It's around those times.
Yeah.
So
it was just really hard I think it was just like, for me, that moment was like, holy crap. We're not the only couple that's ever gotten to that point. But then it was also, holy crap, we were the couple that got to that point.
I mean, it sounds like a majority of the couples, even the couples that are happy and successful, all experience these moments. It's just, are you going to go through the discomfort and get better from it, or are you going to quit? And I think it's just what the numbers say is most people quit. And I think it's just one of those things where that's why it's important that we provide the information. So those things you can be mindful of if you work on those things, rather than just saying, I need to fix my relationship. Because that's what it is. I mean, we just overwhelm ourselves with the bigger picture when we can just actually break it down and work on individual things.
Right.
And I did say millions earlier, and I was wrong. So in UK, family breakdown costs taxpayers $51 billion annually, which is near half the cost of running the National Health Service in Europe.
Wow.
Which is crazy, right? But anyway, sorry. Let's get into the 4 habits, and we can kind of talk through that. And of course, guys, as we always mention, like we say, Emily and I, we're not licensed by any means. We are just trying to navigate the world as a married couple. We're trying to learn as much as we can from the experts, provide that information. Most of the time, you're going to hear us talk about things where we're not doing things the right way or things we need to work on better. And the hope is that allows you to avoid pitfalls we've fallen into, but then proactively help as well. And again, you don't have to be a married couple. You have friendships, you have relationships, your family. This can apply to any of it. Yeah. Exactly. So the first habit, or of the 4 habits of a successful relationship, the first one is be curious, not critical, which immediately made me think of Ted Lasso.
Really?
Be curious, not judgmental. It's the same thing.
I don't remember.
I mean, I guess critical and judgmental aren't necessarily the exact same thing, but you remember he says, be curious, judgmental, the whole scene with the darts. And he's like, oh man, these guys, you would just judge me all the time. And they used to really bother me. And he's like, until I started realizing, they just, why not ask some questions? Be curious, not judgmental. It's a Walt Whitman, I think.
You
don't remember that?
I do now.
That scene is fucking epic, by the way.
Yeah.
When he plays darts with him and beats him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show.
I do too. But what this does is it emphasizes understanding and appreciating differences rather than criticizing them. Encourages partners to play to each other's strengths.
I fail at that.
I think we both do. I do think that we're not strategic enough, or sometimes can't get out of it's our inability to, for me, I should not speak for you. Sorry. Let me speak for me. It's my inability to control my emotions, meaning not reacting to the emotions I feel, understanding why I feel the way I do, thinking through that, and then having a positive response. I'm terrible about that. So when I feel pressure, and pressure is a blessing in my opinion. I'm starting to learn that more. Pressure is a blessing. The fact that I even have pressure to take care of you and the kids and life and do all these things. Like, for example, I'll freely admit, I get pissed sometimes when we start talking about organizing podcasts, because I'm working a job, I'm trying to get this podcast thing together. And I immediately, instead of trying to figure out what's going on with you, I immediately assume you're just not putting as much effort into it. And I think that's shitty and it's wrong. So I react poorly to that. I'll fire off sometimes and I'll just complain. It might even be indirect. It's kind of a cowardly way of doing it, but I'll complain. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think I should be more curious about, hey, what's going on with you? And you've had millions of physical things going on. You haven't been feeling well. There's just life's happening. You're running around ragged.
Is just really heavy.
And so, but that's where I could be curious rather than critical, and try to get on your level and understand what's going on, and then be able to figure out, okay, how can I help support this? And here's what I'm feeling. Those are things that need to happen if we're going to continue to have long-term success. I don't think we're unsuccessful, but we're definitely, I think we're at this point now, I think we've been in a really great spot. We're at a crossroad where we could start not putting as much priority on us and doing these things the right way. And then we're going to get back in a rut. Yeah.
Well, and I think for me, mine is my control issues.
How does that relate to be curious, not critical? Because
I can't let you take control over a situation without me interjecting. To me, there's a right way and a wrong way. It's black and white. There is no gray. And you're a gray person. And so I don't ask you to take the lead on anything, because I automatically assume you're going to do it wrong.
But, I usually always end up taking the lead on most tasks, except for the few that you designate. But if you think about it, I guess that's a really good point, because, for a while, there were certain things you were doing with the show. Well, that's kind of slowly matriculated to me doing them. A lot of it, right? Which is fine.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of the kids life, and the house and
But I think that's even started happening too, because it's things needing to get, that's true. A lot of the house stuff, I guess that's true. But getting them out and making them exercise, doing those sorts of things. I think naturally we figured out where to go, but I don't think we do a good job of communicating or being transparent with each other.
No, our communication sucks.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think right now it just hasn't been very good as far as getting to understand each other, where we're coming from.
Yeah.
So, and see, we do a podcast where we talk about this every day, and we still struggle communicating with each other. So that's definitely something to be mindful of and thoughtful of, and something we have to be more cognizant of, or I think that's a huge one. I really do. I mean, these are all huge.
I think number 2 is our biggest.
Yeah. And it relates to actually just what I'm saying. It really overlaps with it, which is be careful, not crushing, focuses on handling conflicts with care and setting ground rules to prevent destructive patterns, aims to reprogram automatic fight or flight responses during disagreements. This is probably my least what I'm good at.
Same.
Proactively kind of preparing us to be able to harmoniously get through disagreement.
Because I'm not fight or flight. I am shut down and hide.
And I just fire off, and then I don't feel really good about it. And then I think it through after, and then I'm like, that wasn't really productive at all. And if I just had the mindset of, okay, we've got to figure this out, but I'm not going to bring any anger or resentment into it. If those two things, if I can just take a breath and then, hey, we just got to figure this out.
Yeah, but like we've never established ground rules for fighting.
No, we haven't. And we need to do that.
Arguments.
Or at least have some sort of healthy boundary of like, hey, you get frustrated. Like I could, for you, when I get frustrated, like I don't need to go off the way I do sometimes. It's not like I'm like just screaming at you nonstop, but I just know it's not productive how I get mad.
Yeah, because I don't hear it sometimes.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And it's the way it come off. And I get that. And again, the other big thing is for me too, like I'm not doing well at any of these.
No, I thought
this is really big. You're absolutely right. And I know I read through them and I thought
all of them.
I don't think we're failing. It's just we've got work to do, and it's either we make it a priority to put work into them or we don't. But the ask, don't assume. I assume so many things about you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, when we're trying to get things together and things are in a crunch, I'm just assuming you're not giving your full effort. And that's such a shitty thing to think, because I don't feel that way. Like you put effort into everything you do. But when we get in those moments of stress, I don't do a good job of being careful. I don't do a good job of being curious of what's going on. And then what I do, I just make up in my head what the fuck is going on, you know, and it's never positive in that regard. Yeah. And that's the thing I got to flip.
Well, like, and for me, I assume you know everything on my calendar. And like, I just assume you know that I'm handling 1,000 different things all at the same time. Like I have in my brain every practice schedule. I have every costume. I have every swimsuit. I have every football outfit. I have everything that the kids need for every practice, like the list of their things. And then I'm checking off to making sure that I know where it is so that when they don't know where it is, I can easily get it to them. I have your dad's appointments, your dad's medicine, his like schedule of when I need to order medicines, when I need to contact his doctors, when do I get to schedule an appointment. The kids, they have physicals coming up. They need shots for next year for school. We need to go back to specialists for checkups. We need to get this certain test done for,
right.
Like to me, my brain
that's not all happening in one day though.
All going through a checklist.
I get it. Yeah.
And so my mental capacity, sometimes I get stuck in my loop of what have I forgotten today? And I just assume, you know, like, I'm trying not to let all of these balls that I'm juggling fall. And
that's actually a really good point, because you give an insight to me that we actually really haven't discussed before. But what I see is I'll see on the calendar, hey, you got an appointment, and then the kids got swim. I'm going to help. Like I'll do one of those activities. You're doing an activity, but then I'm working, doing the podcast, doing all that stuff. And then I come down and you're watching Below Deck. And you knowing that all that's going through your mind, you probably do need minutes to get that out. But you got to understand, my perspective is you're right. I see the calendar. Not that you're not doing anything. That's not fair.
No, I know.
But here's the thing. Life's still going to keep happening. We have to get stuff done. Mm-hmm. So where does it fall?
Right.
I have to do it. And then that's fine. And I think though that if we were communicating better, and again, this one too, don't assume. I should never assume you're checking out. And I know that's a big thing I struggle with. And I think part of that though is an insecurity, because when I wasn't doing good with myself and I wasn't taking care of you and the kids the right way, I was put under a lot of scrutiny about that.
Yeah.
And not just by you, by our family and by people. And it was, you know, he's checked out. He's not doing these things. So when I see that, I'm like, I wasn't given that grace. And that's not fair to you either. I'm putting a lot of things that have nothing to do with what exactly we're talking about on you. And I got to get out of that. Otherwise, we're not going to be successful.
But I do the same.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I'm just, all I can do is talk about it from my regard and tell you what I'm doing wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and then connect before you correct. Yeah. I mean, this is just advocates for expressing appreciation and warmth before offering constructive feedback, strengthens emotional bonds. I mean, there's just so many things.
I just don't do that.
5% of our day is the shit we were just talking about, which is so fucked, because that's all we focus on. And I'm sure every couple is the same. Most of couples are the same way. I don't ever just sit there and tell you about the 99% of the day that's gone well and it's because of you. I don't tell you, man,
Right.
it's so awesome to roll over.
I don't know the last time I told you how much I appreciated everything that you are doing.
It's awesome to roll over and look at you and see you this morning and know that we're going to be doing that for the rest of our lives, and that I love you more than anything. And like, we don't say those things to each other.
We really don't.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got to change that. We really do.
Because
it's very eye-opening. I mean, listen to it. It's 15-minute TED Talk. It had 3 million views. They do a good job. And again, it's just helpful. It's helpful to hear it so you reprioritize it. It's not that it's not stuff we don't know, but until you hear it in a structured format, get other people's experience about it, and really sit and think about it, you don't get it. And in this world, shit's just getting thrown at you in 30-second increments. So take the time. You know, it's important because we've got one life, potentially. You know, and we got one relationship, we got one family, we've got kids, and whatever it may be, you got one. You know, you got to make it count the best. So and that's going to wrap.
We've got a lot to work on.
Yes, we do, and we'll continue, guys. Keep you guys updated on that. We're going to try to. We're not going to try. We're going to incorporate these 4 successful habits. We'll follow up on it. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Talk to us on our socials. Em, you want to give those socials?
Yeah, you can follow us at dowehavето.com. Submit your questions and comments. Also send us your Sour Patch Kid moments and any other things that you want to talk about. We have social media on YouTube at Do We Have To, a marriage podcast. Instagram, Facebook, and Threads is at do.we.have.to. X is at Do We Have To Pod. TikTok is Do We Have To, a marriage pod. And you can follow us on Peloton. We have our team leaderboard tagline thing, and then we also have a team to join. Maybe next week we can chat about the book just for a little bit.
Well, no, we'll episode 24. We'll do the book. We always do it on our even episode. Like our end of the month episode. Oh, okay. So towards the end of the month, we'll go over Emily's book, which is great, The Wedding People. And for our wonderful Peloton crew, everybody's doing a great job. We had some new members join the other day, and we have a new challenge this month. The new challenge is just days worked out in the month of June. So something we can all be successful and all finish first place in, work out every day. Yeah. So continue to follow, join that challenge, join us on Peloton. And any advice before we end today's show?
Have fun, be kind, and learn something. And know that I really do love you and appreciate you.
And I love you and appreciate you very much as well. I will try to take my own advice and try not to be as much of an asshole sometimes when I get mad, and I'm sorry about that. But that's good advice for everybody. Don't be an asshole. I love you.
I love you.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. Come dance in my glow.